Sir. Johnny, tell me who Gerald Ford was.
Gerald Ford was the 38th president from August 1974 to January 1977. I'm going to tell you about some of his programs during his presidency and how it failed and how it succeeded. Now, which was WIN, which was one of his programs. It encouraged Americans to cut back on oil and gas and use another energy source to save fossil fuels and stuff like that. He started the FDA, OSHA, the NRC, also the Helsinki Accords. It was an agreement between 35 nations that brought greater cooperation between the West and East Europe and, of course, the United States.
He went to the Naval Academy and then went into the Navy, and he got started in politics as the Georgia State Senator and later became the governor of Georgia. The deal with is there was an energy crisis that deepened as U.S. remained in foreign oil. Basically, he told Americans, please stop using oil, we need to save our oil and we need our money. Yeah. He also made a National Energy Act to help ease U.S. dependence on foreign oil. He worsened during Carter's economic crisis and worsened during Carter's administration. Inflation increased, and honestly, the economic side of the White House went to shit. The environmental, he kind of had some environmental impacts that he had to deal with. The 3 Mile Island was a nuclear meltdown, and the Love Canal was an environmental disaster in New York that involved radiation seeping out. And these were really bad environmental disasters, but I mean, Carter had nothing really to do with this, so like, he couldn't really do anything about it.
He was just kind of trying to deal with it, had some issues with it.
Alright, and moving on from Carter's domestic side, now we're going to move on to his foreign policy. But Jimmy Carter was a human rights, I guess I could say an activist. Made some deals with Panama. Now we have a big ass canal that goes through Panama.
What about, I have a question for you. What about the Iranian hostage crisis? Because that took forever.
He spent 444 days just doing absolutely nothing, and he waited till his last day of presidency or something like that to actually free them, or whatever they did to get him out.
Facts, big fuck time. He just didn't really care. Like, shout out to those 8 people, bro. But like, he just didn't care enough. He didn't do like what he needed to do. He just kind of sat there, looked at it. It was a problem. He went and ate dinner.
Bro, what if
Ronald Reagan?
Big
fuck time.
Big on down all the time.
This is not only the greatest. This is legendary. This is like if they had Presidential Hall of Fame, this is the top of the leaderboard.
The new right. So basically, this is how Ronald Reagan got elected into office. He tried to focus mainly on controversial social issues that were happening at this time. Basically, Reaganomics are the new economic policies that Reagan had. He wanted to cut tax and wanted more money for people, more investments, more jobs. People wanted to do shit. People had money, people had goals. This is where people strive. Reagan served 2 terms.
Of course he did. He's the best. Hall of Fame. Joe Montana, you know what I'm saying?
Wiz Khalifa, what you heard? Nancy Reagan fought the war on drugs.
She did a bad thing, okay? We can forgive us. A poor soul. She said no to the drugs. She said, I dare you to do them. And just say no.
Just say no, bruh.
Just say no. But listen, welcome back, another Reagan.
Another Reagan, what you heard before time.
9.05.
Wiz Khalifa of the presidents. The greatest man of all. So to start it out,
South African apartheid.
Basically, they mandated racial segregation in South African society. It's fucking peacefully ended in apartheid. Yeah, you already know.
Next one we want to talk about is PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization.
This was used Lebanon as a base to attack Israel. Reagan administration is found illegally selling weapons to Iran. You know about this? Probably didn't.
Illegally,
but
God.
The best part about this is Reagan was never actually like caught up in it because Reagan was a smart man to fund anti-communist groups in Nicaragua.
Yes, sir.
Anti-communist.
Yes, sir. The Red Scare, no
So
more.
like this is illegal, and people actually went to jail for this. But it was to help anti-communist groups. He did illegal shit, but it was all for one goal, to end the fucking communists. With the Reagan Doctrine provided direct and covert aid to anti-communist resistance in Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
We're gonna start with the no new taxes. Bush promised during campaign that no new taxes would be implemented. This means he wouldn't try to up taxes. He wouldn't try to make new taxes that could affect the American people, like with any sort of financial issues. And then he also signed the Americans with Disabilities Act. Illegal to discriminate against individuals with disabilities in jobs, transportation, and public buildings. So like, if you see a person with a disability at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or any place like that, like, they can't really get fired for their disability. They can only get fired for failure to do their job. That's about it, unless it interferes with their disability. Bush, congratulations, you ended the Cold War. You had the Berlin Wall destroyed.
Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall, sorry. What did I say?
Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall.
So Saddam Hussein ordered invasion of a small country of Kuwait.
But the U.S. had the fucking back. Operation Desert Shield, Operation Desert Storm fucking came in, blew them fucking bitches up. Bing boom! Gone! Destroy!
Saddam Hussein, he was the leader, and like basically he was in the country Kuwait that they ordered the invasion of the small country. Like that was a small country, and he was a dictator of like what is it? He was an Iraqi dictator and staged troops in Saudi Arabia. He didn't want the U.S. to get to him, and we finally did. We won, got the back. Desert Shield, Desert Storm, yes sir, we took care of him. That's it for Bush.
Alright, right back at you, Johnny.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Election of 19.
The worst president of the fucking United States. He got impeached. Just like fucking Donald Trump.
He's like Johnny Manziel in the NFL compared to, Ronald Reagan, Joe Montana. Fucking going.
That's like if you fucking have a fucking, oh man, what's
we
the
have illegal immigrants trying to get in the room over here. What we got?
We got the illegals. We're in an illegal trip. Fucking Donald Trump, come here, fucking get these white boy out of here.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, worst president.
Issues. Economic recession. That means when he was a president, the economy, well,
was shit.
At least to say, yes. Also,
poop emoji.
Bush broke his campaign pledge of no new taxes, as we were talking about in Bush's thing, and fucking Bill Clinton had to deal with it, and it put him in more of a deficit, which made him look even worse. But he really didn't do anything. He kind of just said, "Ooh, taxes bad, getting some more money." Also, Clinton won over Bush with 370 electoral votes versus 168. Wow, that's a lot. I don't know why so many people, but he made NAFTA, which was an agreement.
Maybe Bush was that just bad of a president.
Hey, maybe so. Hey, but Canada, Mexico, and America, or the United States, were all were able to come to an agreement under NAFTA, which eliminated the trade barrier between the three countries, and it kind of just, the issues was with the American public is they thought they were going to lose their jobs and just not be able to make as much money, because that's just been a problem for our country. Even now, here in 2020, taking our jobs, you know what I'm saying. Bosnian Civil War, fall of Yugoslavia. There was a series of ethnic cleansings in Bosnia. Serbian forces later attacked the Albanian civilians, and the U.S. sent in troops. U.S. troops end up staying in the region longer than intended.
Alright. And now we're going to move on to more of the domestic events and the domestic side of Bill Clinton's presidency. He had a contract with America. He promises Republicans and pledges to do shit. He had a welfare reform and a healthcare reform. He wanted to reform the U.S. welfare system. He also, this is in my opinion the only good thing about his presidency. He had a federal surplus for the first time in 30 years, meaning the U.S. had more money than it had spent. So like, it's not like Donald Trump, $2 trillion on World War III, whatever he's doing. I don't even know at this point, but like shit. You know how much debt we're about to be in?
We're already in debt. We're gone. We're so far in the pit in debt, but that's not a part of the video. Thank you for watching, Mr. Cole.
Oh no, I got one more thing.
Oh no.
The biggest part about Bill Clinton. This is why Bill Clinton got impeached. He had a Monica Lewinsky accused and sued Clinton of sexual assault.
Monica Lewinsky? Is that
He was investigated for sexual assault.
I did not have sexual relationships with this woman.
He said that, but in reality, he lied straight to his teeth.
Sticking cigars up the poo-tang. Shout out to my boy Jerry Pitt, shouting that one out, you know what I'm saying? He's a legend in the lab, if you know what I'm saying.
That's another podcast. You should hit him up. He's letting us borrow this room. You know, we're on low battery now. So basically, fuck Bill Clinton. He sexually assaulted Monica Lewinsky and was impeached. He was lying ass bitch to the American public. Thank you,
Mr. Cole. Give me an A.
A.